I've been playing this riff for years, and just about every tab I've come across looks exactly the same. But here's the deal, they're wrong. They miss how Eddie actually played it, and every time I tried to play it from one of those tabs, it just felt off. I couldn't get it to sound right. The crazy part, a lot of players never even question it. I don't know, I guess maybe it sounds close enough or something. But once again, I've brought the isolated guitar track. I also have a little clip of Eddie playing it unplugged with his 1980 interview with Joss Obrecht for Guitar Player magazine. And once you hear these examples, I'm sure you'll agree there's no denying it. And I'll link that interview for you in the description so you can go have a listen too. It's pretty cool. Today I'll show you how Eddie really played this riff and why this subtle tweak actually makes it easier, more accurate, and of course, way more fun to play. Let's get to it. Alright, first off, here's how most of the tabs show it being played. It's that little bit that they always get wrong. It's those two palm muted C notes on the A string at the 3rd fret before the open A. For one thing, this is actually significantly more challenging than it might appear, especially to get the timing right. Your two-hand synchronization needs to be really locked in, and if you don't nail it every time through that riff, it just doesn't sound right. Now besides that, when we listen to the examples, what you're going to hear with me is there's like an atonal characteristic to those notes, or beat I almost should call it instead. And you just can't get that no matter how much you palm mute those notes. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the tab was wrong just because it's difficult, but I am saying that a lot of times these songs are actually easier to play and get them to sound right when you do what Eddie actually did, as opposed to what a transcriber put on paper. Not always, but oftentimes. And like I said before, it's most of the tabs I've seen. There's been a couple of them I come across that are right, but with all these tabs floating around on the internet and most of them being wrong and only a few of them being right, how are you going to know if you got a good one or a bad one? That's why you got me. If you enjoy uncovering these hidden gems, I got a free tab collection of Eddie riffs and licks I can send you. Just type tabs down in the comments. I'd love to send that right out to you. Just comment tabs. I learned this riff the way I believe it is actually played, thanks to the source I learned it from. Now to be totally fair, that same source taught me other parts of the song that were not correct. But hey, it was the late 80s, early 90s, and these guys didn't have half the awesome tools and resources that we have nowadays. For this main riff though, I was always very confident that what I had learned was correct, and the isolated track as well as Eddie's noodling in this interview clip support my assertion. So let's have a quick listen to each. First, here's the isolated guitar track. Now let's listen to it one more time, played at half speed so you can really focus in on those two notes I'm talking about. And now, here's Eddie playing his guitar unplugged and demonstrating the riff during his 1980 interview with Joss Obrecht.
It was a theme riff, like say Doctor. Yeah.
Again, let me play that clip for you one more time, just slowed down so you can really get in on it. So this is how I learned the riff, and my ears tell me from those two clips we just listened to that this is correct. After the quarter bend C note on the A string 3rd fret, you pull that off to open A. Then I believe it's one of these percussive mutes where you just lightly touch the strings. You do that a quick down up, or a chickaboom, as Uncle Ben Eller called it recently in his excellent video breakdown of the whole song. I'll link that one down below too if you want to check that out. Ben Eller goes into some really cool theory stuff. So to finish it off, it's and then the palm muted A, followed by your double stop on the D and G string open, and then barred at the 2nd fret, which is essentially a G chord to an A chord. Anyway, I think the audio evidence, in particular the interview clip, Makes it plainly obvious that what's going on isn't palm muted notes on the A string. It's just that dead string percussive down-up stroke. This way, since you're not actually fretting any notes on the A string, you're really not putting any pressure at all. You're just laying your fingers on the strings. It's so much easier to get your hands out of the way in time to play that palm muted A before the two double stop notes. It sounds correct, and playing wise it just flows so much more easily as well. It eliminates the issue where your fingers are almost kind of getting in their own way with the tab version, where you gotta fret that C note and then be off in time for an open A. Have you ever learned a riff from a tab only to find out later that it was incorrect? I'm sure we all have, but let me know which one. Maybe I'll do a future video on it. I know how disappointing that can be. You go to play a really badass riff and then you get the tab and you're all excited and you learn it and you go to play it and it's like, that don't sound the way it's supposed to. Now I should also point out another key element in working out some of these riffs and doing your own transcriptions is that it really helps to be able to emulate the guitar sound of the song you're working on. In this video, I've been using the Brown Sound 7879 collection from IK Multimedia. There's an affiliate link in the description to that too if you want to check it out. And as with all my affiliate links, there's no increased cost to you, but it does help my channel, which in turn helps me create more content like this. Alright, so one more time through the way that Doctor riff is actually played. If this helped you nail that Doctor riff more accurately, hit that like button. It tells me to keep making more breakdowns like this. I'm not done with this classic tune either. There are a couple more details I want to point out in future videos. In the meantime, if you want to see an eye-opener on another classic Van Halen riff, check out the video linked right here. I think you'll be surprised by this one. See you over there.